Hello, I am Dr. Farzan Rahman. I finished my PhD recently in artificial intelligence from Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology Graduate University. It is one of the new initiative of Japanese government to make Japanese study more modern, and it is a full funded fellowship. So I'm sharing my screen first. So can everyone see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology Fellowship is full funded and fully funded. So it's like you don't have to spend a penny. At 2001, Japan government decided that they should establish a new university to make Japanese education more higher, more modern, and then they have a discussion in their government council. And at 2005, they established OST as a research institute and made the first president, Nobel laureate Dr. Sidney Barner, and later Dr. Sidney Barner and president of Tokyo University, Dr. Arito Arima. They designed the full education system and the full funded PhD program, which is started from 2012. So it is the one of the unique university of Japan because this is fully English. Everything from education to research and everything is conducted in English. Students are recruited from 85% students from outside Japan. And most interesting thing is if you sit in a place and you talk, you will find that there is no two students in from same area. So or same country. So here there is a glance from a skywalk. You can see there are 5 students and they're each from different country. Left, I know them all, like left from left, Japan, Africa, Turkey, Kazakhstan, and the right that is Chris is from Germany. So the second thing is it is based on flat hierarchy. So what is flat hierarchy? Usually, Japan educational system is like the students are in the lower level and the uh, teachers or the VC or the dean, they are in the highest level. But for this OST, everyone in flat hierarchy. What is the why it is useful? Because you can just go to the dean's office or VC's office and then knock and, oh, I just want to talk with you. Or a Nobel laureate, you can just go to a board of governor. So we have a board of governor. There are like 3 or 4 Nobel laureates. So you can just talk, oh, how did you get the Nobel Prize? You can even ask them. So it's like very friendly environment. So this is a picture when I just graduated and I knocked the dean office to get a photo. Is Ulfi Skogland, the dean, and the right side is the chief of graduate school, Kanai-san. So I was like, okay, let's have a photo. So you can talk and discuss about any question. It's very friendly environment in this case. And you can, this is the uh, another important uniqueness of OST, that is there is no specific department. So these days, our research cannot be bound in one discipline. So most of the research are interdisciplinary. Even in artificial intelligence, it comes from neuroscience, psychology, computer science, different disciplines. So here, all there are 76 research units, and each research unit independent. You can go and talk with any research unit, any postdoc, and make your own project interdisciplinary. So they encourage you to do interdisciplinary research. And even if you are a like biology student, you want to do some kind of computer science, you go to a computer science unit, you can ask for resource, you can learn computer science, or from computer science you can do classes in biology unit. So this interdisciplinary environment. And finally, student fundings are totally independent to research groups. So your sensei or your professor is not responsible for your funding. It is centrally from the government. So you are very independent to choose your professor, your department. If you have any problem in any department, any unit, you can just change your research unit and go to other unit. So let's see the facilities of OST PhD program. First is relocation. So if you are selected for OST PhD program, so your relocation from your home country to Japan will be fully funded, and OST will be responsible for it. They will even relocate your furnitures and take you very nicely to their place and give you an accommodation. So this is the accommodation photo of OST. Beside the sea, there is the university accommodation. They will give separate apartment to each PhD student, and it is also funded by OST. And there is also transportation. There's OIC transportation bus, several buses which is free to different areas. You can move to Okinawa, and for your living expense they give you a handsome research assistantship, so with which you can happily live Okinawa, explore, and also you can of course save. And finally, the most interesting thing is research facility. You have enormous research facility. They wanted to use your talent and merit for unique research, and they want to encourage you to do something which, like other universities might say, that is very risky, you might not finish your work. They will not say it to you. They will give you the opportunity to try new things. So here is a Titan Cryos microscope, transmission electron microscope. In the world, there is only 4 places where this expensive microscope is here. Usually it is used for taking the image of molecules. So this is in OIST. This is Loris Goran in the left. It's an Ulfisco-Glanz unit under Ulfisco-Glanz unit. Let's see the campus life. So you will have a gymnasium in your living place. Then not only physical health, but also for mental health, there are psychiatrists and the club, which is Ganju. So there are 4 psychiatrists you can see. They're very sweet and very nice. So you don't get depressed during your PhD. Of course, you are taking some kind of stress journey for 5 years, where you might plan to do something which is really very difficult, which is of course difficult, but sometimes your imagination is very high, your expectation is very high. So in the time, if you need mental support, there is Kanju. And there is, of course, the PhD students for 5 years, they might have kids. So this is the child development center for them. So for the female researchers and also male researchers, they can happily give their kids to a CDC and do their research in the university. So the CDC is also very, very well organized. And then this is a very gender equality uh, gender equal environment. So you will have very nice training in every 6 months, like sexual harassment protection training, to know how to behave with your co-workers. It's mandatory for male, female, everyone. And here is like, there are a gender equality task force who check if everything is fine, everyone is taking and getting all kind of facilities, so no one is in problem. Left is Gail Tripp. She is a professor. Middle is Jeremy. He is in our graduate school. And and the right, she is a postdoc. So this is the things that think about gender equality. And it's a very safe and very beautiful environment beside the sea. So all the university dorms and the university is designed in a way that you can see the sea and you can see forest. So if you feel which one you like, you can choose, or you can sometimes sit in a place where you can see both. And the university is very safe environment for male, female, everyone. Especially for females, it's very, very safe. Especially also Okinawa, also very safe. The crime rate of Okinawa is 0. And when I came back from there, their COVID rate was also 0. So let's see the PhD program structure for OST. So as I said, it is they encourage interdisciplinary research. So here is about for first year, it is a 5-year full funded program. So first year, when you go, you have to do 3 rotations, and one of in 3 research units. So the rotation means you go, you spend 4 months in a research unit and do one small project to understand what they're doing. So for 3 rotation, one of them should be totally out of your field. So, and after the 3 rotation, you decide which lab you want to join, which unit, and when you join, then you write the thesis proposal. So usually in examination of thesis, there are one final defense, but for OIST, you have to, it's also in, I think, USA. So you have to give a thesis proposal examination. So which examination will be done centrally with the external examiner to make sure that you are doing original work and there is no bias from your supervisor to make you pass your proposal exam. The examiner they choose the examiner where your supervisor is not connected with the examiner more than like 12 years. So uh, totally from an outside examiner, you will be examined that your proposal is unique, your proposal is have enough scientific importance to go on, and then if you pass the proposal exam, then you go for 3-year research to finish your PhD, and after at the 5th year, you do the thesis defense. Hello.
Sorry, ma'am, you carry on.
So at the 5th year, there is a thesis defense where you will be judged by 2 external examiners, not by your supervisor or not by anyone. And in the mid, to understand that your thesis is good enough to say you a PhD graduate or a doctor. So in the middle there, you can see the professional development, which is you do a extra project. It is on your own wish, like we did scientific photography contest. Someone are making project to make Okinawan economy more better. So some kind of this kind of project with 5 groups. So you can have like more communication ability to communicate with people when you are in workplace. So this is the more for 5-year program. So how will you apply? So let's see the application process. So first you have to apply online, the application online, which is www.ost.jp. Please remember this website name. So I'm going there to show you. So can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
Yeah. So this is the graduate OST web page, and when I was a student, I applied here, of course. And I felt the interesting thing is it is most easy way to apply here. So this is the apply option. You go to the graduate school tab, go to the apply option, you click apply, you go to the apply to PhD option. So they take a student for 2 times in a year. So first time is at February. So for February workshop, which I will explain you later, you have to apply till November, and the next session, which is from March, you have to apply, which is from May June workshop. So you have to apply later. They will give the deadline. So first, now you can see you can apply for this PhD program for the admission workshop February 16 to 21. So this is the required document. You have to have your transcript and diploma. And the interesting thing is you can apply just after your BSc, because you will do some 24 credit courses. So if you have a MSc, you will need like less course, but it depends on which thesis project you are doing, what kind of knowledge you need. That will be decided centrally in the Board of Governors. So, but that is not a problem now. Just after finishing your BSc, you can apply. So you need the application statement, why you want to go there, what is your scientific interest. But so that's why before you applying, you have to check the research units, which one is more interesting for you, what is your plan, do you have any unique plan. Like one of the students, he wanted to do with astrophysics, machine learning with astrophysics data. So this kind of, I'm just giving you some example. And of course you need a passport, some recommendation letter, and proof of English proficiency. That is also very nice. So you don't need any specific TOEFL or IELTS score. If your medium of instruction is English, and if you have the certificate from your university, you can just submit it. Or if you don't have it, then you need the TOEFL or IELTS score. And the application fee, there is an application fee, you just apply. So I'm going back to my previous slide. So you can see the slide again.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. So after you apply online, then there will the board of governors. Please remember, no professor can select a student by themselves here. So it is a board of governor and all the faculty assembly decision. So after you submit your application, there will be a faculty assembly and board of governor, and according to the participants' qualification, their research plan is this really unique and other things, they will decide which students they want to invite for application admission workshop. So this is very nice. So after, if you get selected for online application, then they will invite you for admission workshop at Okinawa, Japan, and it will be fully arranged by OST. They will give you a plane ticket, they will give you meals, they will keep you in a very nice house beside the sea, which is called Seaside House. It's a part of OST. And for 7 days, they will show you Okinawa. And but your examination will be there will be some interview with the professors you select, and also there will be the informal interview with the dean and VC. Everyone is walking in front of the students. You might don't even know. There is no special people. Everyone is same level. So they were talking with you and seeing how much communicative you are. So these kind of things. So after the workshop, you return to Bangladesh and you wait here for 1 month. And if you are selected, then they will give you a letter for 5-year contract with full funding, and then they will arrange your relocation to Okinawa. They will provide your ticket. They will provide your relocation. The relocation means like you need to, maybe you have a family person, they guess like this, as you are a PhD student, so they will take care of your family to go there, your furnitures to move there, everything will be paid by them, and they will give you accommodation. And when you go there, they will give you some money to take care for the first month. So everything is set. You just what have to do, you have to study. So it's a full financial support. So my journey, I'm going to talk about my journey at OST. So my first rotation was cellular structural biology unit at with Ulf Skogland. He is the professor in the middle. This is his unit. And I was imaging glucocorticoid protein, which is a immune system protein in our body. And this is the image of a one part of the protein. But before that, if you keep it with the microscope, preparing the specimen is a very long process. So, however, to understand the characteristics of glucocorticoid protein, I did this work. My second rotation was with Professor Kenji Doya at Neural Computation Unit, where I worked with spring dunk robots, and I I implemented their mating and battery charging behavior. So here, then these two robots are actually in transferring information. So the balls in their head, they detect each other from the front. They come and transfer information with each other. And this is the other part where it find the battery when its battery is finished, and it come and charge itself. So this is the two basic behavior of animals which we wanted to implement in this microbe robot to understand animal brain. So this is my third rotation. This is one of the very sweet German professor, Professor Kuhn. So he is here. And Professor Kuhn is, they are not dressing up themselves for COVID because they work in a mouse lab, and the mouse experiments are like you have to make a mouse senseless, then you do a brain operation in its brain, you insert a dye, then you take care of the mouse for 3 days, and then you again sacrifice the mouse, being of the brain, and then you slice it and you see how the neurons inside the brain are dyed, and to understand how the information is working there. So I sacrificed about 12 mice in his lab, and this is some results I got. This is the thalamus and cortical area. So this is my out of area rotation, and you can see the neurons here green dyed, and the axons. So one of these experiments, like one of these mouse surgery, takes about 8 to 9 hours, and it's inside like those kind of dresses in the lab. This is a very nice research facility. Finally, I continued my journey with Professor Kenji Doi. This is the new smartphone robots developed in our lab. I worked with I made the simulator of these robots and tried to answer some evolutionary biology questions with evolutionary robotics. So here there was a small presentation of Professor Kenji Doi, but as you cannot listen anything, so I'm skipping it. So there is another part is when you are doing your MSc and BSc, you can actually apply for OST internship. So this internship is also fully funded. So you apply online, the web page I show you. There you see already the deadline is passed, but they take 2 times. Maybe the next deadline they will explain again in the website. And you can choose any lab and you can request an internship position. You will do a short 3 month or 6 month internship there, work on a project. And for their, if you are selected as intern student, your travel expense going from Bangladesh or returning, your meal, your accommodation, and everything is free. Everything is taken care by OST, and you will also get a salary, of course, even after going that. So you can actually visit OST, enjoy. So OST's main motto is they don't want you to think about money or any problem. They just want you to they just want to get your talent to get new things. So they don't want any talent or meritorious student cannot apply for any kind of problem. And they are very, very helpful. So if you have any problem for application, so if you go inside the application process, you will find their email number. You just contact, you just say what is your problem. They are very helpful to reply you. They will of course reply you. And thank you all. So this is a view from the sky for OST 3 labs. So the fourth lab is on its already built, and you can see beside the sea, these are the accommodations, and this is the university. And what I want to say that OST is a very safe place, and I will give 2 examples for it, especially for the females. One is when I went there first, I found they don't lock doors because there is no thief. So when I was locking door, people were surprised, why you lock your door? And second thing is I lost my iPhone about 7 times at Okinawa, and every time I get it back. And it was only possible because it is Japan. So one time I even lost it in a parking place, and somebody just take it and carefully keep it in nearest shop. So I find it. So OST is, I hope if you have any questions, please ask me. And there are lots of Indian students. I hope we will get more Bangladeshi students there, and you will apply for more internship and more PhD program. Thank you.